I never hate my race, but until recently I didn't know history class was jacked completely. Found my new family with the team going free. My old family doesn't understand me, cause I am so pro-white. No coke, no Sprite, I am rolling with the bubbly, gonna be more white. I saw them twist history right before my very eyes. Insurrection Day, it's in the book and it's all lies. But now I am alive and well to tell it. But will generations down the line be able to sell it? I've always been a thinker on the search for both sides, but they label me an outcast and they cannot tell me why. Guess I'm just a black sheep, white boy who doesn't hesitate to make a lot of fucking noise. I'm the black sheep, white boy, and I wouldn't change a thing if I ever had the choice. Cause the red's the color I bleed. Yes, we all do bleed red. I have to protect my family. Why does affirmative action make them not hire me? Even in the countries where I'm the minority. Is my race just that awesome and no other could compete? Is that what the anti-whites are trying to tell me? Why am I always seen as such a threat? To the point they want to strip me down till there's nothing left. Old friends from high school, man, I haven't kept one. But I got a new crew and it's where I belong. Cause if you ain't going free, you ain't rolling with me. And there are even anti-whites in my own family. But I am the one who's comfortable with myself. I try to save them from the hate so wildly raising hell. Cause I'm the black sheep, white boy who doesn't hesitate to make a lot of fucking noise. I'm the black sheep, white boy, and I wouldn't change a thing if I ever had the choice. Cause the red's the color I bleed. Yes, we all do bleed red. I have to protect my family. I heard that Scotland is too white, is Nigeria too black? Don't get your panties in a bunch, cause I have the right to ask. See, I'm the black sheep, cause I call it hypocrisy. And the media will give you emotions, but they will not give you honesty. Yeah, you have your feelings, but I have the crime rate. And I'ma shoot to kill if there's a danger my way. So I do not blame the cops, just the ones who are cowards, who hesitate to pull the trigger unless it is one of ours. Cause he's a black sheep, white boy who doesn't hesitate to make a lot of fucking noise. I'm the black sheep, white boy, and I wouldn't change a thing if I ever had the choice. Cause the red's the color I bleed. Yes, we all do bleed red. I have to protect my family. So I put people to death.
Woo! We're rolling in, going free, ladies and gentlemen. How is the sound? How are you all doing? Let me know. It is Monday, which means it's Dragon Mondays. Very excited to be here on a Dragon Monday. That means that you are going to show up later today at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Discordant Dragons with Yiz the Unifier, one of the most powerful in our midst, speaking directly to the voice of the West, a beautiful person. Make sure you're there. It's going to be an exciting show. We're going to jump right in here, make sure that everything's working okay. And audio isn't great. Well, then we're going to have to fix that. And no, it should be fine. That would be on your end. It says here that it's good to go. Audio is a little quiet. Well, how about now? Is it any better now? Audio is good as usual. Nice. Turn up your devices if it's quiet, if it's not working. Very exciting to be here today. Another day that the great Maximilian von Fock has trained the magic window. My artificial intelligent assistant has trained the magic window on the flag that will one day fly over the White House of these once great United States. BPE, brother. Kingdom of Inland is here. There's our very sweet Carlisle Cockatoo. 0022. Mercer Apollo saying audio sounds good. There's the great Franklin. I saw Franklin show up immediately as I dropped. I think Franklin is like part God. I think he's part God. Somehow he knows, and he's just there when things happen. We're going to get into some things, your questions. We're not going to be here for a very long time, and we mean it. We're going to cover some of what we didn't get to cover yesterday, and maybe anything else that comes up. If, as always, you would like to financially gift over the course of this gathering, you have Cash App, you have Entropy up and running, or it should be, is it not? Yes, it is. And you also have Odyssey, which is indeed also up and running, at which you will be able to financially gift. You may tag me, though. Please do. At No White Guilt. No White Guilt. You can tag me, and then I will see what you have to say, and I will get to those questions or comments. The great Yiz, the unifier, I think, is with. Yes, she is. She's here. And so she will be dropping her link for her channel. And then you will know that you just go over to that channel and you will see it. I will be advertising. I will be tweeting and gabbing. Very first action item of the day is we're going to go back. We had some good results. We had some good results when folks went over to the action item. And if you haven't done this yet, head on over to my Gab. Head on over to my Gab. If you have a Gab account, head on over to my Gab. The very top pin, it's a brand new pinned Gab, and give it a like and a comment if you want. This is our action item today, and a comment that is polite, mature, so that folks showing up will see the difference between those who slander me and us and what we're doing here, and the maturity of our community and how we focus on the deeds and thoughts of folks. We allow them to decide who's going to be a villain in our story or not. They are not born that way, and that we welcome people of all immutable characteristics to help us combat the great evil of this age, which is anti-whiteism, destroying everything across the West for everybody who loves the West of all immutable characteristics. So it's wonderful to be here with you all. I want to jump right into the we didn't get in. Let's see, where did we drop off yesterday? Running out of time because we always have so much to discuss. We have the mailbag from yesterday. We didn't get into the mailbag yesterday, so let's do that. We'll start off with the mailbag. We'll leave the action item up on the screen there for a moment. As you can see, all of the slanders, all of the belittling, all of the attacks, all of the abuse that have come by way of those Spurgs over there, the Yehudi centrists. That would be the scientific name for them, the Yehudi centrists. Spurg, otherwise known as Spurg. All of their slanders, their death threats, their doxing, etc., all of it, just arrows on my shield, as you can see there, that I, with ease, I adroitly bash to pieces and continue the fight for white well-being, while these people spend their days attacking those like us who serve white well-being in a way very different from their own. We have, in the mailbag, we reached down into the mailbag and found our ever reliable Randy, God bless you, brother, saying everything he wants to say with a financial gift of $20 US. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let me beg from you some 07s and raucous emojis and maybe some pirate flags for our swashbucklers. Swashbuckling glory. Some swashbuckling flags that we put up there in the live chat. I deeply appreciate it. Let them know how much we appreciate those who are in service to white well-being, and Randy is one of the best. He's always here. He's always with us. He's always in service. Cool, Papa J Magic. We celebrated you in a big way yesterday at the beginning of the stream. I hope you saw that or will. There's the great Brad C. is with us. Wonderful to see you, brother. And Stephanie is here. Hello to you. It is wonderful to see everybody. Ultra Testosterone, we are underway. We're going to cover the things that have to be covered. How about this? We're going to get into the community the folks from the community share segment, and we'll read those names. And remember, I want you to stay on YouTube. And all of these people that I'm sharing are on YouTube, as far as I know. And you will go to their channels to follow them there. But if you end up finding them someplace else, that's on you. I want everybody to stay on YouTube. The first we have here of a content creator that we want to share is, and I will share with you all a little bit of what's going to be happening on PWR this coming week and moving forward. If you stick around, you'll be able to hear that news before everybody else. The first one we want to share is the one and only, the composer, Andrei Moisejev, who is creating a symphony to my story, Prometheus Rising, Take Back Your Destiny, which again is underway. The audiobook is again underway. Despite all of the obstacles and everything getting in the way, we will not be stopped. The audiobook will truly be magical. Things like the rock or the metal music and the symphonic music, all of that is going to elevate Prometheus Rising beyond what any one of us could have done, and synergistically taking us from here to the recapture of our destiny. Andrei Moisejev is one of the big players behind that, and he is on YouTube. And if anybody knows his channel, I don't know. I don't think you can type in Andrei Moisejev, Andreimoissejev. But it was at, what was the channel name? I might have changed it back to Andrei Moisejev. It was like something him. But please, let's find that. If any of the mods know where that is, that'd be great to share. Otherwise, hunt him down. Hunt him down. Hunting down. Glory Unending is here. Hello to you. And we have White People's Press at whitepeoplepress.com. Westman Media at obviously White People Press on YouTube. But there is another link. Westman Media on YouTube. But another link is Odyssey / Westman Media. School of the West on YouTube. But also at schoolofthewest.world. That's the great Dean Danger. Discordant Dragons, and that's Yiz, and we'll be sharing that obviously on YouTube and elsewhere. Dragon Synth Adventures, which is now irregularly aired by the great For Null, and you can find it on his channel on YouTube, Fornelius Newland, ForneliusNulland. No White Guilt Clips on YouTube. Make sure you follow No White Guilt Clips. Type that in. YouTube.com/ No White Guilt Clips. Western Kind Media Newsletter on YouTube, but also at https://finalblossom.substack.com. Lovely Porridge. You can find him easily on YouTube by typing in Ruination Media, but it is actually Jubilation Media now. You can find it as Ruination Media. Also, Intellectual Embargo on YouTube, but also on Odyssey, same name. Final Blossom on YouTube, youtube.com/user/Final Blossom. Alternative Voices Portal on YouTube, but you can also find him at odyssey.com/alternative_voices_portal. And finally, here on YouTube, the one and only Imminent Rain. And someone will have to share, maybe you can type in Imminent Rain on YouTube and get that YouTube channel to come up. That is our great Luke Mason developing, and he's working on the final song for his Promethean rock, Promethean metal music that he has created. And for Prometheus Rising, Take Back Your Destiny. That is the content, the content creator share segment. And we will maybe, I don't know, we'll go ahead and add a bumper and we'll keep going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, wonderful. Let me make sure you all are doing good still. Is the mic still good? Is the mic still working properly? People over there asking silly things on Odyssey because they have nothing better to do than to endeavor to destroy that which does good for white people. I wonder what their objective could be. I wonder what it could be. Let's take a look at some of these comments that we were unable to get to, and then we will. Are these the other comments? I don't know. Or are these it? I think those must be it. Okay. Here we go. We're going to get to some of your comments right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to begin with Helios Abbott saying, many trolls walk the plank tonight to J.V. Jones' locker. The Troll Slayers. Yes, we had the Troll Slayers. We had the Troll Slayers always in the live chat. So when the trolls show up, and I have to say, there is nothing more wonderful than to see these, and these folks, by the way, these Yehudi centrists, the Spurgs out there, the Yehudi Spurgs. Since the one person saying, listen, this is Yehudi centrist is nomenclature. It's scientific. Somebody's saying, well, it doesn't roll off the tongue very well. It's nomenclature. It's science. You want poetry? I do that elsewhere, and better than you'll read everywhere else. So how do you like that? So maybe if you don't like Yehudi centrist, because you might be one, we'll just call you a Yehudi Spurg. You're a Yehudi Spurg. So we have that. That'll be the colloquial. That'll be the flippant. That's the Yehudi Spurgs are up and Adam. And it is wonderful to see. They're traitors in their midst, even in their own midst. And I get to see these comments of theirs in their private little forums. And they're like, they've got mods over there. They've got mods. They've got mods. They actually delete people. So don't they care about free speech? Shut the up. Helios Abbott, many trolls walk the plank tonight to Davy Jones' locker. The Troll Slayers. Yes, we celebrate the Troll Slayers. They did a fantastic job. Every one of them. We love you all. And there's the great Fornol has shown up. We're going to have fun. This is Monday. And Mondays are great now because we have Dragon Mondays, Discordant Dragons on this Monday. Some Mondays, it'll be both Dragon shows. We're going to move on. This is a great comment. All of the slander, all of the attacks. If you stick around, I've had a long conversation with Mark Collett this morning, very early his morning. And we'll be talking. I'll share with you what's going to be happening on PWR. You all will get to know first. So tell your friends and family. But all of the attacks, all of the abuse. And we had comments coming in like this. Does everybody remember the sweet and wonderful Lacey Lynn? Does everybody remember that wonderful woman who stood out there against that particular vein of anti-whiteism called feminism? And she did a magnificent job, and a wonderful husband, a beautiful human being, and met them in person. Great people. Talked to them many times. And we have this message from her on one of the threads. I've been absent from online work for a little while. I had another baby. Congratulations, sister. Almost a year ago. But I have not turned away from my people or my beliefs. I try to catch my favorite pro-white content creators and friends as much as possible. I'm sorry, Jason, you've been again being attacked. I'm sorry, Jason, you've been again being attacked. Yes, it's unending. They always attack. And by the way, it's the vast majority of the attacks on yours truly are from the Yehudi Spurgs. It's not from outspoken and known on their face anti-whites. I mean, so the Yehudi Spurgs are anti-white cryptos and absolute imbeciles who endlessly attack that which does good for white people. So it tells you everything you need to know about them. Getting attacked, endless attacks again. She says, they always attack the best, exclamation point. God bless you, sister. She has a keen insight there, as you can see. I have met you, Jason, in person more than once. And if anyone needs proof that you are the friend to our people, you say you are. The proof is in my family is safe in the presence of Jason. Not only safe, but made better by going free and Jason's friendship. But the real proof is in the work. You've done great work to set our people free and help our people! Exclamation point. Thank you for your friendship and your work. God bless you. If you come for my brother, you've come for me. And my baby is teething and she loves to bite. So be careful or you'll have her bite you. God bless you, sister. Let's get some swashbuckling flags up the flagpole for Lacey Lynn. Ladies and gentlemen, her and her husband, wonderful people, and babies, their children, all fantastic. We love them. And what a great message. What a great testimonial that is. Some raucous emojis in 07s for Lacey Lynn and those wonderful children of the West that she and her husband are raising. Jubilation Media, that's our lovely porridge. He says here, if he actually thought you had a job in security or intelligence, he wouldn't dox, threaten, and attempt to go after you and your family members, as if a Fed would tolerate neo-Nazi, meth head, podcaster going after him. These guys are fine with feds anyway. They handed over all their paywall information in exchange for legal immunity. Says the lovely porridge from down under. We are worldwide, ladies and gentlemen, worldwide in service to white well-being. Cannot be stopped. Burning them down. That was a burn. That was a sick burn, my friend. Beautifully written. There is nothing that lovely porridge can't tackle. I'll tell you what. God bless you, good sir. We've got the great reptile here, another true champion, the whole family. Wonderful. Met he and the wife, beautiful souls. And he said, by the biospirit of the West, the spirit of the West is strong in them as well. There is so much irony and humor in these ridiculous attacks. What happens when we get a president to go free? Will they still shout, Fed? What about mailmen and astronauts? Are we just drawing the line at state level, DMV and above? Or should we give the Department of Agriculture some probationary grace? Seriously, who the hell thought we should divide our people by occupation? And do you really think we'll unify by sowing mistrust and division? Brilliantly written, good brother. Thank you so much. And then in my very own threads, I've had more than a few, I'll just say this, more than a few of these people who believe that they have doxed me and are sharing my information on my threads, addresses, work, employer, and home address, and etc., sharing it all over the place. These are the people, these Yehudi Spurgs that are doing this. Remember that. Never forget that the people who have done the most for the white race on planet Earth, that is this community right here, changing the story in which we live our lives, the story in which our children and their children will live their lives as heroes for the rest, rather than villains in the anti-white narrative. And we continue to change and make greater leaps every day, saving people's lives, changing people's lives, revolutionizing the way that we view ourselves and our world, and that it is these orbiters of another race of humanity, these Yehudi Spurgs after us, slandering, defaming, doing everything they can to undermine and burn down the work that we're doing. Never, ever forget that. The great Nathaniel Nelson writes here, speaking from personal experience, whether you're a cop or not, you've inspired people to be active in service to our people and kept them out of jail at the same time. Better our people are free where they can do some good than rotting in a prison cell, rendered useless and needlessly suffering for the rest of their lives. How long before the he's a cop coping goes back to he de-radicalizes, as if handling the two accusations in the span of a week isn't a masterful display in juggling cognitive dissonance. True brilliance over here in service to white well-being. Nathaniel Nelson, the great Nate, we love him. Make sure you download that board game that you can see that he created, tabletop game that you can see on yesterday's gathering. We go now to Hickory. And by the way, go ahead, keep going, Yehudi Spurgs, keep going and attacking and slandering and proving that we are the community for the good, for the blessed, for the future, that we are the community for white children, that we are the community for the elderly who are being abused in nursing homes, that we are the community for the strong white man who has paid his dues and has a high IQ and is athletic and still can't get a good job because of how anti-white society is today across Western civilization, not just in any single Western country. We are that community. Just go ahead and keep attacking with your silly ass, where's your badge comments, because that draws that dividing line even more starkly. And I love how people are coming out in the threads everywhere saying, so what? If we hope he is a police officer. We hope he's in the military. We hope we have more people like Jason throughout the U.S. government. We hope there are a lot more of those people. That is what you POSs deserve. And that is exactly what we're going to keep unrolling. God bless the power of white well-being and the swashbucklers we have here. Hickory says, awesome video. I'm constantly challenged and forced to improve my thought process by you, Jason. I just read the book on going free, and that was a mind blow. Now you've done it again with this absolute banger. Super work. You've restored my optimism for the larger white positive movement. God bless you, and thank you so much for that, dear brother and champion. I'm going to take a look at what you all are saying. We're going to be getting into what's going to be happening on PWR. We are at 7 minutes after the bottom of the hour, East Coast time, in the once great state of Virginia, outside of Mordor on the Potomac, where we are flying a beautiful flag, as you can see here in the blue skies outside. It is the Jason drinking coffee flag, which will at some point in the future fly atop the White House, or overtop the Capitol, or you'll see. We'll make it happen one way or another. There's Klump. Great to see you. Great to see you, good brother. And there's the great Elaine Sabatino, another champion. You know, it's so amazing. It's so amazing, I got to say. And we're going to be sharing. We got some more comments, lots of comments from the week before this Sunday. And we're going to start working on those. A lot of smart things said, so I definitely want to share them. And we're going to be getting into that conversation I had with Mark Collett very early this morning, his time, in a moment. I'm going to make the Yehudi Spurgs, colloquially, scientifically, Yehudi centrists, I'm going to make them wait to hear what that is going to be, because, you know, they're salivating. They want to ruin everything. They want to destroy everything that we do here, because they are anti-white. I mean, that's the bottom line. They're feds. They're the feds. They're anti-white. Their outcome is, we expect when we say fed, that the outcome is that endeavors to strengthen and ennoble and brighten is for the white race is undermined by feds, right? That's the opposite of what happens here. For years and years, we've been doing something that is the exact opposite. We've become a shining, scintillating, snow white star in the midst of this darkest of nights for Western kind over the years. And we continue to get brighter by the day, increasingly incandescent by the day, with this beautiful halo that wraps around the great light that we cast into the darkness. And these people are, by all of their deeds, by all of their impish, juvenile, infantile, destructive, miscreant behavior, undermine all the good work that folks do, all the concern that people have. They immediately equate every white person's love for ourselves and our children and just wanting to put an end to our victimization with the most demonic, ugly, destructive, murderous ideas that they can summon up. the lies and the low character and the rest. So who then is fed? I put to you. I submit to you. But we'll be talking about that shortly. And I will be keeping an eye on the chats. Make sure you tag me as No White Guilt. Tag me as No White Guilt if you would like for me to see what you have to say or your question. You can also head on over to the question widget, and you can write it over there in Entropy if you are so inclined. It appears to be up and working. So we have here Frolic Overboard says, great show. I'm looking forward to swashbuckling the internet. These narrative currents shall one day rightly belong to white well-being. Amen to that. Looking forward to swashbuckling the internet. That's what we are. That's exactly what we're doing. Swashbuckling the internet. How swash of you. We can truncate it. So how swash of Frolic Overboard. Looking forward to swashbuckling the internet. Cool Papa J Magic says here, I couldn't catch the stream, working on some things with the kids, but listening back now, great show so far. Every one of these guys would benefit greatly from a conversation or two with Jason. This is the guy to watch. With the Go Free method, we will remoralize, I like that, our amazing people. Edit, Jason's method is causing an earthquake, all capital letters, and even on this paper, shaking across Western civilization. Edit, Jason's method is causing an earthquake across Western civilization. It is our method, folks. Cool Papa J Magic, it is your method. You own this. Go out into the world and own this and take it to these people. Live it, be it, swashbuckle. LC says on one of the threads, LC says, I keep getting unsubbed, WTF. Do you hear that, anti-whites at YouTube? Keeps getting unsubbed. WTF for you. WTF. Why is that happening? So if you are following me here on YouTube, you have to follow me elsewhere. If you want alerts to when I am streaming, you have to follow me elsewhere. I recommend my Telegram, but you could on my Gab, you could on my Twitter. You are not going to get, the odds are you are not going to get the alert from YouTube. The odds are that you are going to be unsubbed from my YouTube. It just happens, and people report it all the time. I'm sure it's glitches. It's a glitch, right? Make sure you follow me elsewhere. Also, something else that's worth pointing out is that your comments in the threads are not deleted by me. They're not hidden by me. If that's happening to you, it's YouTube. So try to reword it. Don't get mad with us. Just try to reword it and try to post again. Make sure every time that you're going to post on my YouTube, make it a habit. If it's going to be a long post, copy and paste it somewhere else. Copy and paste it in an email. Copy and paste it in a notepad. Copy and paste it somewhere else so that when you submit it, if it doesn't appear, you are not had by the anti-whites. Victorian Time Traveler writes here, I missed that part about the person saying that women fought on the battlefield to the same degree as men. LOL. Number one, the Amazons are a myth. Number two, Scythian women did train to ride and shoot, but they did not go on raids with men. That is highly mythologized as well. 3, shield maidens carried a replacement shield for their men. 4, the Soviet Union did push women into combat because they were anti-white, and the claims of their effectiveness are clearly exaggerated propaganda. The stories of those female snipers have contradictory dates and locations because they are mostly fiction. Valkyries are spirits. Gaddafi did have a small army of female bodyguards, and a lot of good that did him. I would too if I was an African dictator. Boudica did lead an army to horrific slaughter. Joan of Arc was just a delusional little girl, and the victories she is accredited with were won by men. If you're Catholic and believe she was divinely inspired, keep in mind that I could definitely be wrong, although I personally don't believe God would take a side in a brother's war. That's Victorian Time Traveler. God bless you, good brother. Very funny. I was laughing all the way through as I read that. And we just had a financial gift come in by the one and only, the great Piers Taylor, with $5 hopping dollars from down under. God bless you, brother. Good to see you. And he writes here with those 5 koala dollars, I left a note under the video you examined on Sunday. Quote, Jason responded to this video on 20 November 22. If anyone is interested, close quote. However, the tone of that comment section was very disheartening, and I don't expect any positive response from these people. Brother, I thank you for trying. And I mean, that's what we're doing. We seek to redeem our brothers and sisters from the madness, from the anti-whiteism, from playing the villain, in the anti-white. Could you imagine that you come across brothers and sisters in the white sympathetic sphere, and it happens all the time, and that are these Yehudi spurgs, Yehudi centrists, and they are playing the villain. They have donned the role that the anti-whites have given them in the anti-white narrative. And then those real human beings want to fight you for not also playing the role the anti-whites want us to play. I mean, those are some benighted folk. Talk about blinkered. Talk about unwell. You have these LARPers that want to come out and demand that you play the role the anti-whites have given us. Absolutely insane. And we, though, Piers is right, we want to try to help these people, try to redeem all of our brothers and sisters, whether it's playing the villain role or being duped, Andy Griffith style, by the anti-whites and waddling around as witless as can be, saying, I don't see color. I'm crippled. I'm unable to see it. We're trying to redeem these people. That particular young man, I don't see going anywhere good, because I was sent screenshots of his comments by a reliable person in a vile person's thread, and he absolutely, I mean, he was writing in the chat, in that chat, that his last name is Kuna. Can you believe it? His last name is Kuna. Why doesn't anybody get his last name is Kuna, for F's sakes? He's just writing that kind of stupidity over and over again. And as I said yesterday, it means king, motherfucker. That's what it means. Of the white race. So you need to shut up and bow. That's what it means. So unfortunately, we're not going to see a lot, I don't think, out of that particular person. It's a shame, because he's going to ruin his life. And then he'll later say, one or two things will happen. Either he's going to be totally ruined and stick with it, or he's going to be totally ruined and hopefully will come crawling to white well-being and try to make amends of the life that he has wiped out. Is this Irgubre? I-U-G-U-B-R-E, Irgubre? I have often wondered why there are so many people who want to play a role in the anti-white narrative, even if that role is as the bad guy. Psychologically, when you play a role, you are not yourself, in a sense. You kind of hide behind a mask or costume or uniform, and this gives a false sense of security. It is not you. It is your role who say things and do things. This is how it feels. The anti-white narrative also provides a script that is easy to follow, so you don't have to be unsure about what to say or what to do. The going free method requires you to be yourself and introduce to people an entire new concept outside of the anti-white narrative. This probably seems too scary and complex for most people. This is sad, because going free is neither dangerous nor complicated. Uruguay, thank you so much for that. Very well written. God bless you. Let me have a look over here. There's Ivan is in the live chat. One of Western kind. Great to see you, good brother. Okay, we're not missing anybody there. Let's see if anybody tagged me. Elaine Sabatino says, hails no white guilt. Says it's terrible. Oh, yes. That was something. Thank you for reminding me. We have I am giving. Now, this is another important thing. And God bless you, Elaine, for reminding me. I give likes and hearts to comments in my threads. And we have discovered that anti-whites at YouTube, I'm sure it's a glitch, delete my likes and hearts. So that I go back and I'm like, wait a second, where I had given a like, I'd given, and the people, and this specifically it happened with Elaine, had seen the like and the heart, and then they see it get deleted. That is the kind of Stasi shit that the anti-whites are up to. Or it's a glitch, of course. It's just a glitch that happens to work out to be psychologically abusive. So that it makes you, if you're following no like, don't believe any of this shit. Please, folks, and please remind people all the time who are just new to this community or folks who are in the community. They will unsubscribe you. They will not let you see alerts that I'm going live. They will conceal your comments in the threads. They will delete my likes and hearts of your comments. So be aware of that. Can you imagine how that lands on people? It's total psych warfare, Stasi style. You know it is. You imagine how that lands on somebody like, oh, this is really neat. I really like this going free method. It's doing a lot for me. Let me just type a comment in there and post it. Oh, look, the no white guilt guy gave it a heart. Oh, whoa, he took it away. What did I do wrong? Should I stick around? I mean, it's total psych warfare. So please let everybody know that there is Stasi activity, what that is, and that it's afoot in social media. It's not going to just be on YouTube. And I'm not even saying that it's YouTube policy. It could be anti-whites just working in YouTube doing this. You know that there's some sort of beluga sitting in some cubicle somewhere with some headset that barely fits on top of that giant basketball bloated thing rotting on top of their body. And they're busily at work. Oh, I'll just do this. That's entirely possible too. Lovely people, though. I mean, I'm sure wonderful. You'd want to spend Thanksgiving with them, unless you wanted to have anything to eat that day. Make sure people know that that's taking place. Thank you so much for that. We also have lovely Porridge here, back again in this other set of comments. You're completely right that some of these guys can't even be considered white sympathetic. Their sympathies for our people don't come first. Not to psychoanalyze, but I believe they have come up with a rationalization for being rejected by society. It's not because they are misfits with abrasive personalities. Oh, no. It's because they boldly speak the truth about history, even in the face of persecution. I really like that. Porridge, you're great. It's not because they're misfits with abrasive personalities. Oh, no. It's because they boldly speak the uncomfortable truth about history, even in the face of persecution. Quote, society rejects me because they don't want to hear the truth, close quote. So they think. This is why these guys often rage when their talking points are repeated by the likes of Tucker Carlson. If their beliefs ever went mainstream, they would have to explain why they still remain unlikable misfits. They'd probably start promoting some other belief that society finds repulsive. It reminds me of the meme, quote, the joke's on you. I was only pretending to be a retard, close quote. Funny. That is a lovely Porridge, folks. We have the best. We attract the best. We attract the people who are witty. We attract the people who are scholars. We attract the people who are moral and law-abiding, and they are not going to tolerate anti-whiteism at all. And more importantly, they are going to do it effectively every step of the way. Those are the people who come here. Beautiful, wonderful quipping by lovely Porridge. He could quip the hell out of you. He can quip the hell out of you. So if you're not ready to go toe-to-toe with this expert quipper, then you are going to be burnt in a serious way. Some news about Mark and I and our conversation coming up here in just a moment. And I'll take another quick look at the live chat, see if anybody has tagged me. God bless everybody for being here. Popcorn Power. I know you all are busy lives. We work for a living. Some of us are retired, and I get it. But we're the folks who have to work for a living. And Machiavellia Sucks is here. The productive members of society. That's us. Fornell said, I got quiplash from all the quipping. That's fantastic, brother. All right. We have Apollo. I know Jason does good work. It's people of the lowest character who slander in order to destroy a person's reputation. The constant gossiping and rumor mongering is something I hate about these circles. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. There's the great Promethean Promulgation. Swashbuckler extraordinaire is in the house. Yeah, I agree entirely, Apollo. It's I've been largely by way of associations and these people who find the work that we're doing valuable. It's just been like endless abuse from these people. And it hasn't gotten me down in the slightest. We continue to have victory after victory. In fact, I relish that they continue to draw a line that is darker and deeper by the day, so that our brothers and sisters in society will be able to see, oh, well, clearly there's a big difference. Those folks, the Yehudi Spurgs, hate the shit out of that guy in that community. So definitely they're a different group. Please keep drawing those lines. Porridge goes on here, though. You have to be more careful when calling specific antnats, quote, 5-foot midgets, close quote. That could mean anyone. Do you mean the 5-foot catboy Mexican midget? The 5-foot coke sniffing Guatemalan midget? The 5-foot bald tie ladyboy midget? The 5-foot Jewish wignat hacker? You need to be more clear, Jason. Close quote. Wow. None of those words are mine. I just want everybody to know none of those words are mine. The ear is against the door. I disavow everything that was just said there and about different groups of people. If there was anything that was derogatory, it would be about an individual, not about an entire group. And so that is lovely porridge, ladies and gentlemen. Ivan says, what do you think about super intelligent AIs owned by anti-whites potentially being used against us? I don't doubt that they are endeavoring, just like they do in finance and in wargaming, to use AIs. But I don't think that it would be the contest between different groups of people is so creative that it is out of the range of the kind of thing that AI could really address. But I don't doubt that they're trying to use it. I just don't think it is going to be of any value. I think they're going to come to much greater or much more effective ideas and execution by way of their own machinations. He says Promethean Promulgation says that he's witnessed that open AI is already being used to white erase history. I don't know exactly how, like, what is it, hunting down in a history book and saying that something is white and therefore has to be replaced. I'm not sure. But I mean, again, a human being can do that. If it's to hunt things down, then maybe in text or online search engines. I don't know. But AI, remember, when it comes to AI, there needs to be a controlled system, a game, effectively, that AI can be effective in. That's what that's where AI is useful. So in like trading and things like this, because AI is only as good as the information put in. And therefore, it can't be creative. It can't be in the sense that a human being is. And the contest in the jungle is still a contest of ingenuity. Don't believe all the fear mongering about computers creating like people create. It's total hogwash. Let us move forward, though. Peaky Blue, we're going to be getting out of here very, very shortly. So get your questions in or comments in. And we'll talk at the end here about the conversation I had with Mark Collett. Peaky Blue says, I haven't watched Salty Cracker in a long time because he was blaming everything on white liberals when the specific white liberals he was talking about were actually jaywalkers. So Salty is causing harm to white people by scapegoating them for jaywalker activity, which is the same thing the members of the criminal ruling class, Rockefellers, etc., have been doing ever since they won in World War II. Now, I don't know about the history there lesson, but when it comes to the Salty Cracker guy, I have seen clips where he blames things on. He's got no problem saying white liberals, and even when they're white, not just another race. Not just jaywalkers, but even when they're white, he's got no problem blaming white people for things going wrong. He doesn't blame Jewish people. He doesn't blame black people. He doesn't blame Hispanic people. Never. But when he talks about, it's the same thing as conservatives. Conservatives can blame. Tucker Carlson does it all day long. Have no problem saying it's these white rich people that are doing it. These white, and there's no use. Please don't do this, folks. Don't say, oh, no, what it really is it's jaywalkers. No, it's white people they mean. In the anti-white narrative, you can slander white people all you want on the basis of our race. Right beside the anti-white, because of the anti-white morality, right beside of the moral precept, part of the anti-white morality, that it's totally the most immoral and evil thing to do, to categorize someone on the basis of race. And conservatives and Salty Cracker will do that 5 minutes after saying it's wrong to consider someone's race in whatever it might be, in hiring or criticism or etc. So this is just how the human brain, in this case, inside of white people we're speaking about, specifically Westman, this is the way it gropingly, contradictingly navigates the anti-white narrative and anti-white morality. So the comeback when a conservative, like for example, we're coming up on Thanksgiving here in the United States, what you don't want to do is to say to a family member, if a family member says, it's all these white liberals, it's all these white woke professors, what you don't want to do is to say, oh no, those are all jaywalkers. Absolutely, that's white negative. I'm glad that comment came up. Not saying that Peaky Blue would, is that what it is? Peaky Blue would do that or say that. But the comment has evoked this topic of what to say when conservatives or people like Salty Cracker, whatever, they decide that they can demonize white people. They can talk about the race when we're talking about the harm being done in the West, whatever country it might be, specifically the United States for Thanksgiving coming up here. All of the get-togethers are going to be work get-togethers every day, etc. So don't do that. Don't say, oh no, it's this other race of human beings. That is white negative. That by saying that, you're saying it's their humanity. It's it's their birth that causes them and X, Y, or Z, when that's not the problem. The problem is anti-whiteism, irrespective of race. So instead, you want to take the tact that when they say, oh, it's white people doing this, say, man, that is why are you so anti-white? That is anti-white as hell for you to say that. to blame white people for all the anti-whiteism. It's all just white people doing it. Why would you be that anti-white? Take the opportunity then to introduce concepts. This is anti-whiteism. People of all immutable characteristics practice it. They all inflict injury on Western kind. You see how I just dropped another one of the key concepts. This is the anti-white narrative. This is anti-white morality. Concepts coming through. Do you see now, brother, sister, mother, father, cousin, friend, nephew, niece, etc.? Do you see, cousin? Do you see now how this anti-whiteism, this anti-white morality manipulates your thinking? Right there, you've communicated half a dozen concepts from the Go Free method, most of them key concepts. You've also communicated a number of dialectics that are unspoken premises that cause your audience to automatically accept those unspoken premises in order to address the question/statements or statement/questions that you are making. This is how you be a good, pristine, noble, heroic person. You change the world for yourself, your family, your community, our people. God bless. Swashbuckling magic. Cool Papa J Magic. Yeah, and that was another thing. We had a lot of these Yehudi Spurgs coming to me saying, he's even criticized Salty Cracker. Salty Cracker's a great guy. You know, Salty Cracker might be a great guy, but isn't it interesting? Oh, and I saw this meme or whatever, these Yehudi Spurgs hoping that Ye would become president. I mean, can you imagine the total state of the Yehudi centrists these days? The total state of them. They're like, you got to love Salty Cracker, who blames things on white people, who blames it all on white people if he's going to ever mention a race. And then you've got to hope that a black nationalist, son of a Black Panther, has sex with white women, rapper, etc., is going to end up president because he has acted like a Yehudi centrist. The total state of the Yehudi Spurgs. Cool Papa J Magic back here. YouTube will never give someone like Jason a fair shot. Personality traits such as courage, motivation, intelligence, persistence, etc., when combined with white positivity, are much too effective. And the anti-whites won't have it. More is being accomplished for white well-being from this little corner of YouTube than all the prominent so-called conservative white sympathetic channels combined! Exclamation point. Also, I like this term, doom documenting. I used to hear black pill all the time, but this is much better. It is much better, isn't it? Doom documenting. That actually came from First Last. Put into usage for the purpose of the scientific method, found to be wildly successful and adopted in the Go Free method. Go Monkey Go writes here, I really like Mark Dice, and I've been listening to this stuff for years, but there's no way he just came up with the term anti-white on his own. Out of the blue a few months ago, he heard that either here or from someone who did, and it's a bummer he won't or can't just be honest about that. You were the first person I ever heard use that term, and I'm online all day, as it's basically my job. God bless you and thank you for that. Yeah, we know he's got to protect himself. We want him to protect himself. May he grow to the stars. May Mark Dice grow to the stars so that he looks down on planet Earth with a swashbuckling cape and introduces the totality of the lexicon to the world. Promethean Epoch says here, I can't even watch these live from my phone anymore. The stream either stops and I have to reload the page, or it randomly mutes and I can't unmute it without refreshing the page. I thought it might be an issue with my phone, but it doesn't do this for other channels like Ramsey Paul when he goes live. Isn't that interesting? And thank you for sharing that, Promethean Epoch, that there's this glitch banning going on. And do you remember who named that many years ago? There's this glitch banning going on. Again, a lot of the Stasi tactics at work. I'm sure it's just all glitches. I'm sure that's all it is. We have Aerostar. I think I'll read this one. And how long have we been going? And then, yeah, we'll talk about the conversation I had, and I'm going to jump off and eat and get to work on other things for white well-being, because that's what I do with my life. Arrow Star writes here, Jason, my brother, I've been a subscriber of yours since the beginning, and I remember, oh, you know what? I want to look for, do I have it here? There's another here that I want to share that just showed up the other day, and I want to make sure, is he in here or no? Ah, yes. I'll read that one too, because these are, Aerostar is a subscriber from the beginning, and I'll share another one who's a subscriber. Aerostar says, Jason, my brother, I've been a subscriber of yours since the beginning, and I remember how calm and reserved you were in the beginning. But now, oh man, you are on fire, and you've really come into your element. I guess that's what happens when the future proves you were on to something from the beginning. I first heard the term anti-white from your mouth. Though I was doing more than my share of following similar content, alt-right, nationalistic stuff, no one ever said that word except for you. And now it's gone mainstream. That speaks volumes about your powers of perception. Enjoy the show tonight. Enjoyed the show tonight. Keep up the great work, my brother, and a salute. Thank you so much for that testimonial. God bless you, especially now when so many people who are taking up outside of our sphere and have taken up key concepts, the ones we have pushed and are pushing, and the others that we're pushing and will continue to push, that also will be taken up. And they're trying to say, no, you didn't do that. You couldn't do it. And then when it happened, you didn't do it. The sign of a genuine piece of shit, my friends. And here you have a real champion celebrating and sharing the truth. And you know what? I think I'm going to take that advertisement and turn that into a commercial on, I'm going to take that comment and turn it onto a commercial on Gab. So he gave that wonderful testimonial. Arrow Star, thank you so much. Good brother. I really appreciate that. And let me mark this so I know. I will go and find it. I wish I had been saving the testimonials from the very beginning, but honestly, if I had, though, it would be, I don't know, it wouldn't have been possible. There, so many people have wonderful, and I want all of them. I want all of your testimonials, and I will continue to save as many as I can so that we can share them with others. Ozark says it's almost like No White Guilt thought out all these potential issues ahead of time and came up with language and methods to properly address it. God bless you, Ozark. That's exactly what happened. God bless you. That's exactly how, it's kind of like when the jungle, the competition in the jungle, which is, when I use the phrase the jungle, I'm talking about the predator and prey, what it's like in the real world where law and civilization either doesn't exist, or you create this localized absence of civilization. Like sometimes you'll see, you could see like in a fight in an alley, or where their combatants have no concern about ramifications, legal ramifications, or something of this nature. You see it in business often, where the participants, and it's a flexing thing, it's a vacillating thing when it takes place within sort of a localized event or events inside of civilization. Nonetheless, it takes place. The struggle between the struggle in the jungle is then neutered and becomes games, because there is for us, there is a certain measure of enjoyment from that competition. Why is there a measure of enjoyment from the competition? Because the struggle for life is life. The struggle for victory is life. The struggle to master that which seeks to master you is life. This is the reason why, when you look at the leopard in the wild, he looks very different from the leopard at the zoo. They both are wearing the same jacket, but your wife could have that jacket as well. So it's a very different phenomenon. That's why we take the competition of the jungle and move it into the game environment to try to tap in ever so slightly. Now, in the game environment, you can think about games like chess. You can think about a game like professional baseball or American football, whatever it might be, where they have to strategize ahead of time about what the other side can do. Now, in a game environment, it's infinitely easier to do that because you have parameters that they cannot go outside of. In the jungle, it's infinitely harder because the only parameters are the laws of physics. So all human ingenuity is open to the competition. That means that it takes a lot of patience, a lot of time, a lot of intelligence, a lot of dedication to study, observe, be able to process, and then plot how to combat a competitor, a victimizer inside of the jungle. That, my friends, is deep and profound intelligence. What you see coming out of Ye, that all of these other groups they look at, whether Yehudi Spurgs, whether it's the ones that are proudly incels or the other ones that are proudly deranged and have a third eyeball in the middle of their forehead or whatever else that's gone wrong on them, they look at that and they call that profound, deep intelligence. Big difference. Let me read to you, and thank you very much for that, Ozark, because that is it's a fascinating, and that's another reason why the best come here, because they are either able to see it themselves or they are close enough to be able to understand it once it's laid out. So that's why this is the advanced placement. That's why nobody's going to be here that is entertained by like the dumbest of the dumb things, because simple pleasures for simple minds. So we have the best here. They're able to comprehend what is obviously of immense complexity. I wanted to share this as well. Then we'll talk about my conversation with Mark and anything else you have to say. One of my very first subscribers to No White Guilt and my advocacy for white well-being, inviting everyone of all immutable characteristics to participate in that advocacy, demonizing no other group of people, was a Japanese young man in Japan, not as some sort of a weird ally of the Japanese people and the white race, sort of a weird thing that these cult nats imagine when they don't, they represent nothing. Two human beings. And this young Japanese man, I think, was just going into college at that time. And he was able to see, wow, this is totally moral. I completely agree with that. We should take down the anti-whiteism. His name was Clash Sensei. And he showed back up the other day in the comments. And he says, long time no see. You've grown the channel well from just me. Hope you are enjoying your mission. Let's get some 07s for this guy. Clash Sensei doesn't have any need to care about us on the other side of the world. Japanese doesn't, there's nothing pressing him to say, well, you should care about white people. But he decided he was going to, hey, here's this new guy. He's totally moral. And what he's saying is the right thing. And this really, the victimization of his people needs to come to an end. And he's deciding over there where he doesn't have to care about it. He can go live a wonderful life and not have to think about us at all. And he's stuck with us all the way through in the beginning. That was Clash Sensei. And deeply respect and thank you, good sir, showing up. And I hope your life is rocking for you over there. Imagine maybe you're done with school. Maybe you're doing something that requires more schooling than you would have been able to finish by now. But great to see you. Thank you for showing up again. Clash Sensei. Yeah, that was great in the beginning. I was like, where, nobody follows me. And I was not, actually my plan was to like introduce the channel once I got enough content. But I did notice, of course, other people's channels like growing like crazy. And I was like, boy, I'm like in this niche here. And so it was just handfuls of people that would, and then I don't know if you all remember, the channel ended up becoming popular before I wanted it to from one video. But Clash Sensei was there. He was there back in the day, keeping no white guilt from one of the folks keeping no white guilt from being lonely early on YouTube days. So thank you for that, folks. Promethean Promulgation says, no white guilt, all give a testimonial to another life saved by Go Free. I would not have jumped in. What now? Promethean Promulgation says, I'll give a testimonial to another life saved by Go Free. I would not have jumped in front of a car, nor been able to call his father to save him without Go Free. He saved a mockingbird, a baby mockingbird. Is that it? Is that what happened? Promethean Promulgation, he is now, objectively speaking, the most attractive mockingbird in the world. Oh, that's great. That is really wonderful. Fit and healthy at any age is here. Great to see you, good brother. Art Acrobats is here. Saved a mockingbird. That's really cool. To save the mockingbird. All right, I'm going to talk about the conversation I had with Mark as I look over the final comments that folks have up here. But I'm going to place a little bumper, I think, and then do that. So I will be right back.
They are not opposing white supremacy. They are not opposing white nationalism. They are not opposing white separatism. They are opposing white identity. They are opposing white people.
All right, folks, the sun has set here, and we're going to be getting out of here in just one moment. Let me know if the mic is okay. And looks like, woo, that's some really disgusting things being written by the, let me just screen capture that stuff. Wow. Really disgusting things being written by the Yehudi Spurgs. I hope you all love the flag. So, let me check this. I had a conversation with Mark this morning. We had a good talk. about Kingdom of Van Homosex says, I don't know if this is just me being paranoid, but I'm concerned about the going free lexicon being treated as trigger words for AI, like we've seen in the. Yeah, I mean, oh, you mean on like the tech platforms? That's not impossible. And then as humans, we just have to outwit the AI by using different characters and etc. that so that humans will get it. I don't think, at least at the moment, that will be done on Twitter. So if Twitter is able to see it all, and that's what people are not seeing elsewhere, that will put a pressure on other platforms. Let's hope that that continues. All right. Audio sounds fine. Awesome. Awesome, my good sir. So I think we are, as far as financial gifts good. Yes. All right, let's do this. John says over here on Odyssey, I defended Jason in Mark's chat and I took a lot of flack. I was disheartened at the white race for being so fickle. Sorry about the drama. Most of the hate I got was from people that did not even set a picture for their account. I questioned their race. At this point, I am just blocking them. Yeah, and I'll go ahead and tell you all to do the same. Just wherever these Yehudi Spurgs show up, just block them all. Don't bother to have a conversation with them. Block them all. Talking to them, with them, arguing with them is the only thrill in their lives. I mean, they've gone through like all the pornography and all the most demented pornography and probably looking at like dead bodies and anything else that could get a thrill or a shock. And all that's left is to try to get a rise out of you. And it's true. And thank you for that, good sir. Thank you for standing up for me and the good work we're doing here. All that's left to them then is to get a rise out of you. And so the most powerful punch that you can give to them is to just delete, ban, ignore. Do that. And that's my recommendation. Please, everybody just ban these folks. No good will come of it. So you have some that are just demented, others who are actual anti-whites, just pretending to be white sympathetic people, pretending to care about the white race. So just they say the disgusting things. They obviously don't care about white people because even like the open anti-whites are not as disgusting and vicious as they are. So it's almost certainly that the vast majority of these Yehudi Spurgs are radical anti-whites. They're cryptos, and they're like, I will just be as disgusting as possible for these people and to try to pull down something that is beautiful and loving and heroic. Of course, demons would do this. And that's what anti-whites really are. They're demons. When ordinary person is afflicted with these concepts, these mean pathogens, they're possessed. It's a possession by demons. So we have to exorcise them. In this case, exorcising them means that you don't put them on like a boso ball. You give them the palm, and you delete them and ban them. And that's just what I'm going to be doing. That's what I've been doing, and that's what I will continue doing. So back to your squalor with you, while the swashbucklers ride high. I had a good conversation with Mark this morning about the pressure that is being put on him and the what I have to deal with. We're seeing it here now, including all of the death threats, family death threats, endless abusive slandering and smearing, baseless claims of repulsive things that only occur in the minds of these people. And very often there's a lot of sexual claims, and it really is a projection of like sexual inadequacy and fetishism and things in them. So we talked about that, and we talked about him, and we talked about, I won't reveal it all now. It's going to be, I'll say this. We're going to, on PWR this coming Wednesday, it's just going to be Mark and me. And we're going to talk about these things. We're going to have a frank conversation with the community, with really his community. I know there's a lot of crossover, or some crossover, depending on how you look at it. But there is, mostly with his community there, because his community, even with the crossover, keeping that in mind, is more of the sort of same community that will circle in and with and through people like Duke, and whereas it's like a closer orbit for Mark than it certainly is for us. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to, and we have a game plan, and I'm still up in the air about PWR and remaining there, and whether or not, personally for me, I told you all, and I've got to get out of here, but I told you all that I like being there for Mark. I like the guy personally. I think he's a good guy. I was there when he had not physically, but there when he had his baby. I got to see the joy in his eyes, and then there recently when he lost his mother, and I got to see that deep sadness. And I like being reliable for him. I like the whole connection, across the Atlantic, across the big pond, that it's the U.S. and the U.K. and we're still fighting together, if you will. And I like that, because there's a bonhomie there, or there should be. I also like that the time that we have done the show survived all of these great cullings, or these great censoring moments, the shuntenings, so that as anti-whites clipped all these connections all over the internet that white sympathetic people had made, this survived, and it was one of the biggest things, most well-known things that survived, and probably because it was the one big thing that survived this great shuntening and these great censoring moments. There has been sort of like this endless, I think in part because of that survival, there's been just this endless abuse that I have had to put up with, and the pressure that Mark has had to put up with. So they're at Mark all the time. Mother freshly died, at him nonetheless. And pressure, you got to get rid of Jason. You can't let him on your show anymore. Just endless. And then with me, it's this endless, what we talk about here, what we've been talking about, all the way up to now, to the point of effectively putting a hit on my life by sharing what they believe is doxed information. It is doxed information, but what they believe is my information addresses of work, home, family, all of this sort of thing, that if I was actually in that line of work and in a facility like that, already a threat to the lives of those who work there, it would be a guarantee. It would be an absolute guarantee of death. And they know that. And that's the kind of people they are. And so even though Mark and I have a great relationship, and even though this sort of unity of action has been really good overall for the white sympathetic sphere, these forces that continue to push, to ruin, to decay, like the ones that are commenting now, they are at such a fever pitch now after Yay, because they really stepped it up after Yay, and it's such a fever pitch now that on some level, Mark, in my opinion, I have to ask myself, this is what I've got to do. I've got to ask myself over the next couple days, and when we have this conversation on Wednesday, is my presence on the show more trouble for Mark than the convenience and reliability and entertainment and whatever else I bring to him and the PWR watching community and the insights that I bring? Is it actually more trouble on him? And so, since my concern, because I don't get paid, I don't know if anybody ever thought that I was getting paid to do that, to show up reliably, drive in traffic, get here to be able to sit in front of the mic, etc. I don't know if people actually thought that I was like getting paid. No, I did that to provide insights for the community, a little bit of entertainment, and that entertainment and those insights making, I hoped, PWR more valuable to the audience than if those insights and entertainment were not present. And also being able to, be there for Mark, because like I said, I actually like the guy, and to be able to be there for him when something's not right, and I can take the mic and roll with no big deal. If a particular interviewee is trouble to deal with, not really, in other words, not being able to talk very much on a mic and in front of an audience, that I can help keep that conversation going. So being able to do those things. And then at the same time, as I said, the friendship and this cross-Atlantic, it's the US and the UK and sort of thing going that I enjoyed. Has it gotten to the point where, and the whole time I'm taking this abuse, and I'm just like, smile on my face, except when I decide to cuss these people out for the swine that they are, taking this abuse. And I've got to decide, is that pressure on Mark? The abuse hasn't gotten to for me, I mean, it is what it is, right? I guess it will be less if I'm not on PWR. I mean, what could be worse than putting a hit on your life? Or maybe, I guess, coming to kill you, coming and destroying your property. I guess that would be the next step. Maybe, I don't know. They would, if they come though, it's going to be a loud ending for someone. That's all I can assure you. I might have a little bit of training in some different things. Think about it. So the abuse is not the thing for me. Is my help that I can provide him, does that not amount to enough to offset the pressure and the heartache that he's getting from behind the scenes? All of the, trying to juggle the, we'll come on, but no, not when he's there. And all of this sort of childish stuff. I mean, he's got to go back and forth. It's got to be very stressful. He's trying to raise his kid. He's got the government on him all the time over there, watching everything he says. And I feel confident that, I mean, he already does it. So I feel like he would be able to be a great solo host on PWR and not need a wingman. I think he'd be able to be a great solo host. So I'm thinking about that. I got to think about that. The other thing that's weighing on me, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go eat. The other thing that's weighing on me is that when last Wednesday these swine showed up, Yehudi Spurg showed up and slandering me with the grossest slander and putting in what they believe is my full legal name, where I work, and all of this sort of thing. And less than 5 out of the 500 plus push back against them. So that's an eye-opener. That's something to think about as well. So if I'm not, if they're looking for something other than the insights I can provide, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to say it's jaywalkers every time. All the jaywalkers have to be, for their, on the basis of their humanity. If that, I'm not saying that's what most of them want, but it was pretty surprising after all these years showing up reliably and enjoying those hours with folks that so few decided to push back. So that's something else I have to think about. Is it more trouble for Mark, me being there? And is it, and also what exactly does it mean that this audience did not like come to their feet and throw these people out, if you will? You don't have to. I think it is, to a degree, it's a learned helplessness against the Yehudi Spurgs. And that's why I think most people did not respond to them. It's just this learned helplessness. Like when those kind of people show up, if you are on sort of that track of, to whatever degree, resembling a villain in the anti-white narrative, then somebody who takes it to its purest villainy, and also at the same time will, like a cult, attack the shit out of you and everywhere you go online, slandering you everywhere you go online. Is it really just a learned helplessness? Like, okay, they're here and we'll, and most of them are probably working out of ADL basements or something like this. Of course, that's something, I'm just being comedic. They don't do that. You can ask CNN. So that's something I got to think about. You can share your thoughts in the thread below. But for now, I'm going to have to roll out.